All right, everybody, how we doing? Time for the Week 4 NFL picks on this channel. I'm excited. I got a few of these. Well, I did okay, but some of my points predictions are getting pretty good. What I always do is I go over last week's picks first, and then we'll get into the Week 4 picks. So last week, right off the bat, I had the Chiefs 24, Bears 13. Not too shabby. Not hard to predict that one. Ended up being 41-10 Chiefs. Next up, I had predicted 23-19 for the Bills over the Commanders. Ended up being 37-3 Bills over the Commanders. Again, these are not difficult picks, although there were some that you would think were not difficult that actually went the wrong way. Next up, here's one of those that went the wrong way. I had the Cowboys 31, Cardinals 17, which that should have been almost one of the gimmies of the week. And instead, the Cowboys blew the game to the Cardinals 28-16. And now we have to start wondering if the Cardinals are good or are they not bad enough to tank for the first pick? That's a legit question. Next up, just as I said, with the exception of getting it wrong, I had Vikings 23, Chargers 21, and I said this game is going to come down to somebody having the ball last and screwing it up with a chance to win the game. Well, they both did it. The Chargers had the ball, technically should have been last, but then they screwed it up going for it on fourth down. And then the Vikings, all they needed was a touchdown right there at the end, and they threw an interception. Anyway, I said these are two teams you should not trust. I still don't trust either one of these. Absolutely not. Next up, just like everybody else, I had the Ravens beating the crap out of the Colts 34-10. And just like everybody else, I did not get that one right. The Colts somehow beat them 22-19. I made a video about the missed pass interference. I agree that it was missed pass interference. I also think that Lamar Jackson missed a couple of open men. But hey, don't tell that to anybody in my comment section. I don't know how football works. Next up, this one was pretty close. I had the Eagles 28, Bucks 17, and it ended up Eagles 25, Bucks 11. Eagles are 2-0, and they have one stretch of games that after, I think, their bye, they, in order, well, I'm not sure about the order, but in 3 straight weeks, they play Buffalo, Kansas City, and the 49ers. So good luck to them. They need to keep stacking the wins now. Next up, I had the Lions 40, Falcons 33, and it was 20-6 Lions. I guess I underestimated the Lions defense or overestimated the Falcons offense. 20-6 does not sound like a Detroit Lion-esque score, but here we are, and I believe they've won 2 games. So they're looking on track to make the playoffs, which is what we all want to see. All right, I had the Dolphins 40, Broncos 11. I almost got that score at some point. I believe it was 42-13 at one point. So I had the margin exactly right, and then the Dolphins had to go and blow it and score 30 more points. There's nothing left that you can say about this game other than just do it again. Do it again this week. That's a big ask. I understand it's a big ask. Next up, I had the 49ers 39, Giants 14, and I almost got that one. It was pretty close. 30-12. I almost got the Giants score. These are not difficult games until somebody decides to do what like the Cardinals and Cowboys did. Next up, I'm still salty about this one. I had the Jaguars 28, the Texans 3, and I don't think I could have gotten this one any more wrong. Somehow the Texans managed to drop 37 on the Jaguars, who only got 17. Did we have premature celebration with the Jaguars for the Jaguars fans? Because I know you guys waited a long time to be good. And now what is going on? How are you giving up 37 points to the Texans? Is it a little bit of overconfidence? There's definitely something not right in Jacksonville. Next up, this one was damn close. Seahawks 34, Panthers 29, and it ended up being Seahawks 37, Panthers 27. It's not a whole lot you can say about either one of these two teams other than parity. There's so many games, especially coming up this week, that just scream parity. And that can be a good thing unless you're talking about a game like the Broncos-Bears that somebody's going to have to watch that game this week. And this one I'm proud of almost getting exactly right. I had Patriots 17, Jets 15. And who would have thought that I would guess somebody would score 15 points in a football game and kind of get it right? Only it was the Patriots winning with 15 and the Jets only 10. That is embarrassing. If you are a professional football team and you only give up 15 points and you lose, it's not a good look. The Jets are in trouble. I made a video about Zach Wilson and the plan with Zach Wilson yesterday. It's so bad. As a Dolphins fan, I actually have a little bit of empathy and sympathy for Jets fans. It's just unfortunate the way it's worked out for them. Next up, I had the Steelers 22, the Raiders 21. Got that pretty damn close. Steelers 23, Raiders 18. I don't understand what happened because the Raiders got a 2-point conversion and then forgot that they could get another 2-point conversion. Maybe they thought it was like challenges and you only get so many. Who knows what's going on with the Raiders other than they are being typical Raiders. Next up, what do we got? Okay, I had the Bengals 24, Rams 16. Got half of that exactly right, plus the team. It was Bengals 19, Rams 16. Bengals absolutely had to get off the schneid. You can't start off 3-0 and have any hopes of making the playoffs in the AFC, certainly in that division. They don't look good. Joe Burrow doesn't look like himself, obviously. But when you can get a win like this, even on a week where you kind of look meh, that maybe able to turn their season around a little bit. And here's the one that I'm actually most proud of. I predicted a 1-point differential between the Packers and Saints. I had 27-26, and it ended up being 18-17. Very happy about this game for the main thing. I don't want to see Tom Grossi be sad. He works so hard. His team deserves to win. It was nice to see them come back and get that victory. And it would have kind of really been hard to watch them come back and then lose in the end anyway. All right, I think this is the last game. This one I got horribly wrong. I think I am done with Ryan Tannehill. I had the Titans 21, the Browns 16, and ended up 27-3 Browns. Now, maybe we're underestimating the Browns because of who is at quarterback in that whole situation. But Ryan Tannehill has been wildly inconsistent. That said, he's probably still better than Zach Wilson. And if I was the Jets, I would it can't hurt to pick up the phone, right? Maybe they can't afford him. That's probably a problem. But as bad as Tannehill is, he would still be better than what they're doing with the Jets. So, my week 3 total was 11-5, bringing the season total to 30-18. So in week 1, I got 9 games right. In week 2, I got 10 games right. And week 3, I got 11. That's a good arc. The shocks, of course, 70 points. And then the Colts and the Cardinals, especially the Cardinals. Although we should never be shocked when the Cowboys blow a game. So, come on. Who would? Nobody was thinking that. All right. Let's move on to the week 4 picks. All right, so week 4 involves a good number of games that are damn near impossible to pick. A lot of teams you can't trust. A lot of teams you can't figure out. So, I got my work cut out for me if I'm going to do one better than last week and get 12 of these right. Game 1, I've got the Bengals 24, the Titans 21. I sure as hell am not going to pick for the Titans, number 1. Number 2, I know this is a road game, but like I said, if the Bengals want to save their season, they absolutely need this one. Nobody at this point should trust the Titans. That 21 points they get might be a little bit high, but my Ryan Tannehill jersey is hanging up over there. And, the guy gave a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for the Dolphins. I always like to see him do good, but I admit that 21 is probably about 15 points too many. The second game I have here is who's going to watch this game? I've got the Bears 33 to Broncos 30. Now, that easily could be 6-3. I don't know what to expect here. Somehow the Bears offense is looking terrible with Justin Fields. Somehow the Broncos are just looking flat out terrible. So my assumption here is that the Bears, being at home, will be able to score more points than the Broncos because the Broncos defense is terrible. I don't know what to expect from this game because these are two kind of really bad teams. So sometimes those are low scoring, crappy games, and sometimes they're high scoring, fun games. All right, next up, I've got the Saints 16, the Bucks 13. That sounds about right to me. Two teams that don't like each other. Saints, I predicted to win that division. I think they're on their way, but it's not going to be easy. Meanwhile, with the Bucks, parity. Yeah, that's the word here. All right, next up, I got the 49ers 30, the Cardinals 12. Just no, Cardinals fans, no. Beating a Cowboy team who is known to choke is a little bit different than going into San Francisco and beating the 49ers. That's not going to happen. I don't think San Francisco is going to score 70, but it could be higher than 30 to 12. All right, next up, I'm taking it easy here. I've got the Chiefs 23 to Jets 16. Now, I know if you read the tea leaves, as they say, it might kind of look like the Jets are getting ready to get absolutely obliterated. But it's at home. I do believe they have enough veteran leadership on that team to at least make this competitive. Think it's 23-9, and then the Jets get a late touchdown or something like that. I don't think they're going to get blown out. That Jets defense is still good if they feel like they've got something to play for. Will this be the last game we see Zach Wilson in? For Jets fans' sake, I hope so. Next up, I've got the Eagles 23, the Commanders 9. You could double that score possibly, but again, I'm being a little bit conservative here. I feel the Eagles will walk away with this one easily. Maybe they'll run it up a little bit. Maybe they'll get jealous that the Dolphins scored 70 and think that they can do the same thing. Here's the big one. Dolphins 34, Bills 27. Now, of course, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not going to pick against them, and I'm sure as hell not going to pick against them until they've lost the game. So, get that out of your mind. In terms of how I think this is actually going to play out onto the field, I'm not going to do a preview to the game because I didn't do one last week, and we won big, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people want to watch those previews anyway, which is fine. So the point is that I'll give you my short little preview here. I wonder how long it's going to be until, if the Dolphins only score 28 points, are we going to hear that the Bills defense kept them in check? What's the number of points that the Dolphins have to score for people to not say, see, the Bills defense kept them in check? I don't care if we win this game 9-8. It's just time. Let's see, time. 5 of them. It's 5 times. Time to show that we can win in Buffalo. It's got to happen this week. Enough is enough. Next up, I've got the Jaguars 26, the Falcons 24. I don't trust this pick, but come on, Jacksonville. Come on. You just got good. The Falcons are not a conference opponent. You are at home. This is a game you must win. You have to be able to win this game. A weak NFC team at home after you just disappointingly lost last week. If you want your season to be successful, you've got to win this game because apparently the Colts aren't just about to lay down. Next up, I've got the Seahawks 40, the Giants 30. I know that some of you might think that that's a bit high, and maybe it is, but every once in a while, you're going to have one of these humdingers back and forth shootouts. I'm going with the Seahawks in this one, although you just never know. You never know with any of these teams. Again, this is the third parity. Parity. That's what I can tell you. All right, next up, here we go. Okay, this is the Thursday night game. We're not streaming this one, but we're definitely going to be watching this one. This one should be fun. I've got the Lions 35, the Packers 34. Number one, I'm feeling lucky because I predicted a 1-point differential last week and nailed it. So here we go again. And in fact, that was with the Packers. So I'm going to go for it again. Now, maybe I should pick the Packers to win, but I'm torn with this one. Who do I like more, Tom Grossi or Campbell? You see what I'm saying? Who do I like more? Dan Campbell's hard to root against. And, the Packers, Tom will have another week. Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. And I'm just hoping for a good game. Let's just put it that way. All right, let's see where we are. Next up, I got the Vikings 21, the Panthers 17. Say it with me now. Parity. Parity. There will be 6 people watching this, and 5 of them will be tied to a chair with a gun to their head being forced to watch this game. Next up, okay. I hope this one's correct. The Cowboys 26, the Patriots 19. Now, I don't trust the Cowboys, but we know I'm going to pick against the Patriots pretty much every week unless they're playing the Jets and maybe the Bills. Cowboys got to get off the schneid after last week, but Bill Belichick is not the team that you need to play when you're desperate for a win after a bad loss. I suspect New England's going to keep this really, really close, and maybe they'll have an opportunity with the ball at the end of the game to win it. But I think somehow, some way, that's not Tom Brady behind center. So I think the Cowboys will find a way to pull it off. And I got this giant fly. I'm going to have to judo this fly over here. All right, here we go. 2 teams, I'll say this once again, that should never be trusted. I've got the Chargers 27, the Raiders 14. This game could go any number of ways. These are the 2 teams in the NFL most capable of screwing it up at the end of the game. So maybe we'll see a situation where you have 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter. I'm going to pick the Chargers, but I'm about as confident in that as I am in the idea of me growing a full head of hair again. All right, I can't believe I'm picking the Colts. I'm picking the parity. Colts 23, Rams 19. Again, this one could go any number of ways. I have zero confidence in this pick, but you have to pick somebody. If the Colts win this game, are we going to have to consider them good? So many games between teams that we really don't know if they're good or not. Here we go. Ravens 20, Browns 16. The Ravens shocked last week. The Browns kind of surprised a little bit last week. It's turned out to be an important game here. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Ravens because I think in terms of tough, big divisional games, however you want to place it, the Ravens have a little bit more experience, and they're probably pissed off from the way it ended last week. We're going to go with the Ravens here, but this would not be on the shock list if the Browns pulled this one off. We've got another 1-point game here. Steelers go to Super Bowl. I've got the Steelers at 21 and the Texans at 20. I don't know why I said it that way. I say it fine when I'm not on camera, but I think I'll just leave that to Grossi and the other guys. So this is another 1-point game. I don't think any of us are ready to deal with having a discussion about the Texans possibly being good. So come on, Pittsburgh, come on. All right, don't have us go through this. And let me see, is that it? Did I get through them all? I got through them all. All right, congratulations, Jaws. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the week 4 picks. I don't know if I can improve on that 11-5 this week. There are a lot of games against teams where you could flip a coin and even the coin might just look at you and go, I don't know. I care about a couple of things here. I'd like to see the Patriots lose. I'm not really too concerned about the Jets. And of course, the big one, got to beat the Bills in Buffalo. I've been saying that for at least 30 years. Maybe this time. You know that movie, B movie, where Jerry Seinfeld played the bee and he kept banging his head up against the window trying to get out. Maybe this time, maybe this time, maybe this time, maybe this time. Yeah, well, maybe this time.